Good morning, everyone. I'm Deb. I'll be your chairperson for this morning's service. Welcome to everybody who's present here in the sanctuary, and we also welcome everyone who's watching online via YouTube or Facebook, the live stream. We want you to know you are part of this community too. We're all one in spirit, and just because we're not together physically does not mean there is a separation. Because we are all one in spirit, there is no separation. So thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. Here we are, 11 days into the new year, and it's already going fast. No doubt, many of us, we've probably set goals, written intentions, maybe even made New Year's resolutions for the year ahead of us. All good steps to kind of map out where we think we want to go. Because without something laid out in front of us, how do we know where we're going? Kind of like setting an address in your GPS. When you aren't quite sure how to get there without some instructions, well, I know I wander aimlessly. Let's see here. I'm one that's drawn more to, come that last week of the year, leading up to New Year's, I'm one that likes to ponder on what has already gone. And I review and reflect, and I tend to lean more that direction than making the plan. This past year, the last week of December leading up to New Year's, I had just a perfect prompt for my reflection process. It just showed up and grabbed me, and I want to share that with you. And let's see, get on the right page here. This is what I was so moved by it that I wrote it down so I could come back to it. You may not be ready. You may not feel strong. You may not feel clear. Readiness is not a feeling. It is a moment where your soul leans forward before your mind can catch up. And that was exactly my experience at this time last year. 1 year ago, I was asked to run for a position on our Unity Board of Trustees. Someone saw something in me that I didn't see or didn't feel ready to step into, but that door opened, and my soul leaned forward. In fact, I was ready to say no. I had already turned down this opportunity 2 times previously. I'm just not a business person. I'm not a good manager. I don't feel I have those gifts. So I had all my ducks in a row. I was going to say no. And then I got the email right before the phone call came in asking me if I would run for a board or a position on the board to be keeper of the flame, a prayer person. I was ready to say no, and when that phone call came in, I could not say no. Universe was waiting for my lean into this for me to allow it to guide me. That was just the first experience of leaning in last year. Often, I said yes to something before my mind could catch up and say, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not ready to do that. But those experiences brought me more growth and transformation beyond what I ever could have imagined. In hindsight, I know it was all for my higher good and for the highest good of all. losing my place here. Even Jesus hesitated. Our Advent booklet for last year, the 12 days after Christmas, I was really happy to see this, used the 12 powers for the 12 days of Christmas, the readings that were written. And the one written on the power of will says this: for many, the new year is a time to map out new goals and set fresh intentions. It can feel exhilarating or intimidating. For ambitious dreams, it's often both. Perhaps Jesus felt similar as he approached his first public miracle when his mother Mary asked him to keep the wine flowing at the wedding banquet. He hesitated. My hour has not yet come. Basically saying, it's not time for this. We aren't told why he was reluctant. Maybe he questioned his readiness. Maybe he wondered whether the task was truly his to do. Maybe he hesitated because he knew that stepping forward would change everything. And it did. Jesus moved through his resistance by summoning both willingness to embrace the moment as it was and willfulness to move through whatever inner doubts stood in his way. And as he told us himself, all that he did, we can do also. So my challenge to all of us is for this new year to lean in to where our soul is calling us, where source connected, which is our soul, is leading and guiding us. I was reminded so often last year, it would just pop into my mind these words of Jesus: the Father and I are one, and I of myself do nothing. He knew his divinity. He knew his oneness with Source. We know our divine source. We recognize our divinity, our oneness with it, and we are never alone either. The rest of what I had written down from that prompt was, even if you don't feel ready yet, you will be. You're not doing this alone. Every step you take, no matter how shaky, you activate support you can't see. Every moment you choose to keep opening the doors. Every breath taken in faith signals divine source, the universe, that you are willing to receive what has always been meant for you. So this year, let's lean in. Let your light shine for Unity of Appleton, or your own life, for you. It starts with you. It's for you. But for Unity of Appleton, your community here, and the world. You are the heart and the hands. We all are the heart and the hands and the voice of Spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are powerful co-creators, and we are blessings to the world. So let's lean in. And with that, we'll move on to our vision statement. Let's read this together, knowing that our words are powerful energy that we are proclaiming. We're putting it out there. We are planting these seeds. So let's say together our vision statement. A spiritually awakened world, united in love, empowered in truth, and alive with infinite possibilities. And together our mission statement. Awakening divine potential in all through love, learning, prayer, and positive living. And please say with me our values. Acceptance, compassion, connection, diversity, love, peace, prosperity, and spiritual growth. And together we celebrate our children. Unity of Appleton sees the divinity in all children and nurtures their unfolding spirituality. And this week, our focus is on our fourth principle. Let's say it together. Through affirmation and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And the daily word for today is guidance. I follow divine guidance with faith and confidence. Created in the image and likeness of God, I have creative power to bring my ideas to life. I choose which thoughts to nurture and grow, and where and how to invest my time and energy. Like a sailor preparing to embark upon the open sea, I do not travel alone. I get clear about where I want to go and what I want to experience and get ready for the journey. I map the course to my goals and make an action plan. God accompanies me as the wind that fills my sails and propels me. I hold the rudder and choose the route, but ultimately the wind moves me. I collaborate with spirit within and feel secure and brave, knowing I am always supported. With divine guidance to rely upon, I move confidently in the direction of my dreams. And let's say together at the top. Let's first the verse from Proverbs at the bottom. The human mind plans the way, but the Lord directs the steps. And now we'll read together the statement at the top. Guidance. I follow divine guidance with faith and confidence.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about your shining light, it's very bright. I think about the soul you are, your love and light, so happy together. If I should see you there or where, and you say you're a part of me, and ease my mind, imagine how the world would be so very fine, so happy together. I nearly sat down again because I was so excited. So this morning, we all know her and we love her, and she really doesn't need an introduction. So please welcome our Minister of Record, Reverend Marylou Palmer Cardoza, to show us all about principles this morning. Welcome, Marylou. Hey, Marylou, can you unmute yourself? We cannot hear you.
Oh, You can just see me. You can see me doing all this stuff, but you can't hear me. So here we are.
Island where you are.
Is everything working out good?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, good. So how my weather is
We can't hear you. Or see you.
now you can't hear me?
Yeah, you can. You're on. Oh, now you're off.
How's that?
Good. It works.
Okay. I think I have to stand a little closer because I'm outside. Nevertheless, that is just an example of the chaos going on this week. I don't know about you, but my spiritual practice this week has been on triage. First Venezuela, then Minneapolis, then your town, my town. We have fears run amok. And our spiritual principles call us to know that there really is only one power, one presence, and really one activity going on here. And it's that last one that always catches me off guard because I don't see the same way Spirit sees. And so my challenge is to put on my spiritual lenses to see through, to feed my faith and not my fears. One of my teachers on a podcast said that there around our planet, we have a major fear deficit going on. There is so much tragedy, so much pain, so much manipulation of putting our attention over here, or maybe it needs to be over there, or maybe, I don't know. The challenge we have is we have to figure out how to cut the noise. We have to learn how to regulate our nervous systems. About 6 months ago, I heard somebody talk about it in that way, and I kind of went, what do you mean? Your nervous system can't handle this. And I said, well, I just wanted to step in and ask and invite you to have some prayer. And she said, my nervous system just can't handle it. I can't stand still. I can't sit down. I have to go. And I said, well, I'll join you in prayer. I'll be here. You go do what you need to do. And first, I didn't understand what she was talking about. But now, over these past weeks and months, our chaos level seems to be rising. And it is fear grappling. It is taking my attention off what I do want and putting it in the direction of what I don't want. And so this joy deficit that we've got going on here is directing our vibrations because it's lowering our vibrations and directing us out there into chaos rather than being centered into connection with Source. So this week, more than any week I've had in so long, I have been in prayer, and that has been my response. I've been watching how much news I'm putting in. I only have been listening to a variety of people that are trusted, that I already know. I'm not letting new voices come into the mix to scare the bejesus into me. I am cutting the noise and finding joy. I am choosing peace instead. And most of that is about forgiveness and sending love. But fears run amok happens so often and so quickly that I can hardly understand it. And this week I was remembering when I was getting ready to move from Appleton, I had an incident where my Mr. Kitty got lost. Now, he got lost to me. I didn't know where he was. And I am in the middle of all these boxes. And cats love boxes. Have you noticed? And Mr. Kitty often would get into boxes and play around, and it would be cute. And I kept thinking, well, did I pack him in a box? Did I lose him somewhere in all the commotion? Did he get outside and I've lost my cat? And as the moments ticked by, my anxiety level just went through the roof. I could not believe I had lost my cat. And so I finally recognized that I could choose peace instead of this. And a little song that Jeannie Lanus had created and we had sung at church really came back in my mind. And it was, let it be easy, let it be easy, God's in control. Let it be easy, let it be easy, God's will to know. And when it's easy, God's in control. And I started singing that chant over and over again. I looked in every corner, in every box that was open. I looked outside. I called the cat over and over again. Sister Kitty was not a problem. She was all there, and she kept going, well, why are you calling Mister? He's okay, no problem. But I was having the problem. And I spent hours that afternoon looking for my cat. And what happened as I was singing my little songs and making my prayers and sending blessings out is that it really did calm my nervous system. Now, that did not mean that I wasn't concerned or that I didn't continue to look for the cat, but at that point I was able to redirect some of my energy into packing and getting things done. And mostly what it did is it created this conscious connection with Source, that I was here in the midst of whatever chaos I had created, because I'm responsible for everything that happens in my world, because I am the one that gets to respond to it. And so this response was, I'm going to choose peace instead. So I'm packing, I'm cleaning, I'm putting things into boxes, and I moved something on top of the refrigerator, and I could see into an open cabinet that I had never opened. There was my cat. Mr. Kitty was safe and sound in the highest cabinet in the kitchen, and I was the one that was fearful and afraid. He had slept the afternoon away. And that's what we do. When we let fear run amok and we get worried and scared about what that's going to happen and how it's going to happen and what could go wrong, we are terrorizing ourselves. And the answer is we've got to cut the noise and deepen our practice. And most of all, we really need to fuel our joy, because the challenge we have is that we have to figure out how to engage this law of love. The law of love we know as you give, so shall you receive. And so how do I increase the love when it doesn't feel lovely and easy? How do I increase the love light that I am in the midst of chaos? How do I do that? And the answer is prayer. And mostly, depending upon how much fear we have going on, it's forgiveness. Forgiveness is about giving forth love instead of the fear, instead of the worry, instead of the doubt, instead of the chaos, instead of ramping that whole energy up. My challenge, my opportunity is to feed my faith and forgive. Give forth love first to me for thinking that they need to do something different so that I can feel safe, or that they need to do something so I can get on with my business. No, if they're having a problem, how can I be part of the solution? And I can't figure out how I can be part of the solution, how I can produce miracles in that moment, if I'm so wrapped up in the fear that's run amok. So the challenge was to do things in my life this week to amp up the joy and the peace and the love and the prayer and the meditation. So the new things that I went out to look for were different kinds of meditation, different people who were talking about prayer practices and how to deepen our forgiveness process. And I've just been really focusing in on that. And so I want to invite you to understand that prayer is our natural communication between us as the created and our Creator. So when we pray, we are increasing our focus on God consciousness. Not that God's going to fix that. The universal life force presence is equally aware in every person, in every situation, in every circumstance. My challenge is I lose focus on that. And so that's where the forgiveness of me starts. And then I work in my mind's eye, in my energy, to send prayer consciousness where I think people are absolutely out of their mind. There is a line in the Course that says, do not call it sin, it is madness. And do not feel guilty. And above all else, do not be afraid. Well, that's exactly where I've been, is I wanted to call it sin. I wanted to blame. I wanted to be in judgment. I wanted to get into worry. And I was refusing to go into fear, because fear run amok creates more chaos. So this week, as we do this work, our opportunities to recognize there is madness afoot. Now, it is our regular old madness. It's just amped up at a little bit higher frequency. And we do have amplifiers of that frequency that has been creating a whole lot more energy. This morning, Jodi said, I don't understand how on my page I ended up with so much controversy about what was going on in Minneapolis. And I said, yep, it's because you opened up the door and you talked about it at a level that people felt like they could then start picking off the reasons why and how come and who's to blame. And then our other folks who see things differently, they started complaining about other people. I just don't go there. I just don't go there. I just say a prayer and invite other people to join me in prayer, because prayer is the thing that we all need. We need to know that we are loved and that there is a way through this. And it doesn't come from, you fill in the blank. It comes as we become centered and poised in the highest vibration that we can have. And that is not an that is not an outside in problem. It's an inside out problem. And so I have to manage me. So I'm going to give you a few more hints of some of the tactics that I've been using this week. So one of them is a prayer practice that was new to me, but it was about centering ourselves in the breath in and on the breath out to Om. And the teacher was saying that as we do this, we are talking about a relative lack in the moment for us, our breathing in. We become aware that we need a breath. And then we get so full of that breath that we need to exhale. We need to let it go. And that our mind can focus where we want to send that energy. And so I practiced that for a while, and that was really wonderful. Another prayer that I did was I just spent time in the silence. And silence is not necessarily my easiest thing to do, but I did take moments when the busyness, when the noise, I'd turned down the noise and the busyness left me. And I just sat there and said, here I am. Use me. Here I am. Use me. And that created opportunities where, as I opened my eyes and looked around, that there were some things that I could do in that moment that would be loving and kind to the people around me. And it helped me to feel that kind of connection and ease and grace. And so I became an instrument just because I was willing to push pause every time I made a transfer of location or situations or people coming in and out, that I could see differently because I had taken that moment of here I am, use me. And these are the techniques that help me to live the principle that there really is only one power, one presence, one activity, despite any appearances to the contrary. And that law is God, and that law is good, and that we are here to be an instrument through which God shows up. And so I'm going to invite us to take a moment and just breathe into this moment. And hear the silence of this moment. Here I am. And shift your focus to that here and that I am. Here I am. Here I am. And in this moment, I invite you to open your hands And if you find them filled with other thoughts and other situations and other concerns, I invite you to offer this thought, these concerns, whatever is pulling your attention to other than the I am presence within. And offer them up to Spirit, asking for that healing of the madness and the confusion. Feel that lightness come. Here I am. I am here to be an instrument through which Source shows up. And I'm going to invite you to slow down your breath even more. Wherever you are on your pause, you're pausing on your exhalation or your inhalation. Just pause that for a moment and let the energy build up within you, that desire for the breath or to release the breath. And be conscious of breathing in as full as you can. Hold it for a second. And then breathe it out with a sound of release. And do that 3 times. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. With the next breath in, hold it, and now hum that breath out. Breathing in. Allow your breath to follow your own inner guidance of in and out, and allow the Om to fill the room. Om. When you're ready, you'll pick up your breath, and the next person next to you will fill in the Om, and we become a vibratory energy of Om. Remembering, remembering that we are one with the power and the presence and the activity of God. And no matter where we are, no matter what's happening around us, we are safe in God. And we send this energy out to those whose mind may not be there, those whose names come to us in this moment, to the situations that have given us pause. Just send this loving energy out. God is, we are, and all is well. God is, we are, and all is truly well with our souls, with their souls. And I'm going to turn this over to Deb to continue our prayer practice in this moment.
Remaining centered in our heart, our sacred heart, knowing our connection to the divine, our one source, our only power that lives and breathes and has its being in us, as us, through us. We release that love, that light, the peace and harmony, bringing all together in the oneness of all that is. Let's continue our pause for just a few seconds to either in our minds, in our hearts, or whisper out loud a concern you have, a loved one, a circumstance, a situation. There are many. We know all is held in the field of love of divine source. We are all one, and all truly is well and divinely ordered. And so it is. And now we move from prayer to our affirmation of prosperity. This is the time when those of us who feel Unity of Appleton is our spiritual home, practice putting spirit first in our financial life. This practice prospers the spiritual community we love, that which we are, and supports our own spiritual growth and prosperity. Please give whatever amount Spirit guides you to give, whether it is in person or electronically, whatever amount that is. Take that gift into your heart and bless it with your love. Feel free to bless the plate as it passes by, and let yourself feel grateful to God in you as your one source. Then please join in our affirmation of prosperity. Unity of Appleton is alive with the energy of spirit in the flow of divine abundance and radiant with unlimited possibilities. And please say with me our celebration of giving and receiving. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyfully give and willingly receive. I give in love, and I trust God as my source.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me, it seems I've lost my way. When I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
With open hearts, open minds, we receive these gifts with gratitude, direct from Source through us, to be blessed and to bless others. We are blessed to be a blessing, and all is well. Thank you. And now we move on to our announcements. There are 2 book groups ongoing. The one on Mondays, we meet 6 to 7. You are the happiness you seek. And on Fridays from 1 to 2:30, Happier Than God. I've noticed this for a long time. Both those books are about happiness. I think God wants us to be happy because God is happy. Happier than God. And anybody is welcome anytime. Just drop in. It's okay if you don't have the book. You don't even have to say anything. Just come and be in the presence of the community. It's wonderful. And a new member class is coming up. Are you interested in joining or learning more about Unity of Appleton? A new member class will be held Saturday, January 31st from 10 to 11. Please RSVP to Unity at unityofappleton.org. And back at Unity of Appleton on Saturday, January 31st at 3 o'clock, Kirtan with Love, Light, and Harmony. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. Come in, get off the street, out of the chaos. Again, an opportunity to just be in the presence. And our Unity of Appleton income and expense report for December, we have a monthly gain of $2,562.23. And again, we are divinely blessed, held in the goodness that we are creating with our one source. And Sacred Soul Service is next Sunday. Members of our spiritual leadership team have crafted a unique service for next Sunday. Take part in a deeply meditative time focused on silence, peace, and community. Expand your own spirituality and our connection as a community. What we create here in community, we then amplify out into the world. So please come join us for that. And that also is just being in the presence is so powerful and so peaceful. So come join us. And today, after the service, this afternoon at 1 o'clock, Yoga Nidra and Vibrational Sound Bath with Teresa's crystal bowls, chimes, and drum. Another, I'm not kidding, beautiful experience, beautiful. Stay, again, be in the presence. And let's say together our prayer of protection in closing. Stand if you would like. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, you guys know this one, so sing it loud. Unity of Appleton, it is our place, a home where we love and learn and sing. When we get together, it's the love in our hearts that sees beauty everywhere in everything. Oh, bloody, oh, blada, life is love, yeah. La, 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 life is love. Oh, bloody, oh, blada, life is love, yeah. La, 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 life is love. I am so thankful that we are right here. With the love we have, it's really true. If we all stay mindful and we practice grace, there is no limit to what each of us can do. Oh, bloody, oh, blada, life is love, yeah. La, 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 life is love. Oh, bloody, oh, blada, life is love, yeah. La, 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 life is love. And if you know that life is love, sing oh, bloody,